It's been a solid 10 minutes. I think I should just get into things, and, yeah. I think I'm just gonna get started and hope that people show up soon. Because it'd be very awkward, again, if people just kind of didn't show up. Right, that's right. I opened up a fucking incognito tab and then I forgot that OBS doesn't like incognito tabs. What's image 3? Oh, this, right. Text. Music. Where's... Oh, window capture, right. Tab. Properties. Oh, wait, no. Filters. Close. Actually, I'm just gonna use this scene for Okay. So here we are at Archive of Our Own. So I have my drink of choice with me, which is a wine bottle full of fruit punch. Very good. Is that the Persona 5 font? Ugh. So, how do we start out? I'm gonna put on some of that background music. Some of the stuff we played on one of the other streams. Some of this stuff. Just so that there's something interesting happening, you know? Okay, so... one thing that I was, the only, like, suggestion that I got was to look at fanfiction for something called Ugly Dolls, which, like... I've heard of Ugly Dolls before, but I don't know much about it. Which I'm gonna... What is Ugly Dolls? So it's like some movie? Yeah, I think I've seen I think I saw like a trailer for this or something. Whatever. I should have pulled up the pop-out chat. No, I really hope that I didn't like do this too late or something, like too late at night, and nobody's gonna show up because it's too late. It's like it's New Year's. This is the night you're supposed to stay up till 12 a.m., you know? Maybe it's a time zone thing. Well, I guess we'll go, because the only recommendation we got was for Ugly Dolls fanfiction, so, works. Fandoms. Ugly Dolls 2019. Because I've heard, I've been told that there's like, oh god. Oh god, right off the fucking bat. I've been told that there's like a strange amount of Ugly Dolls fanfiction and that a lot of it's very bizarre. There's only 34 works. Okay, I guess I'll look up these characters. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this Michael guy is like an actual human character. And on the first page, you can see somebody's OC being shipped with him. And then I'm just going to assume that the blonde kid that's also featured here is Nolan. So I feel like it's safe to assume that, like, in this stuff, hang on, yeah, we're back on the right scene. I feel like it's safe to assume that in, like, these movies, this Michael kid is the, main character. I don't think I'm gonna look up any more of these characters. Yeah, I'm not gonna look up any more of these fucking characters. Is anybody in chat at all? Please, this is so awkward. It's literally just me in chat still. How long's it been? It's been 20 minutes. Yeah, I probably should have posted, like, the notification that I was going live at this time, like, earlier. Is the music too loud? I'm gonna turn on the music just a little bit. Actually, not. I want it to be, like, audible. I don't think I'm actually gonna be reading any of this stuff, because I really would rather not. And it's not like it's not like I would be able to understand what was going on at all. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bakemono no Ko? Hang on. That sounds familiar. Hang on, give me a sec. This seems familiar. Oh, no, I have never seen this before. Never mind. So anyways... Oh, God. Don't like, don't read. Suck my dick. Oh, God. Decent amount of cringe, you're fucking right. Your whole fetish is cringe. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, what? Hang on. Hang on. I kind of assumed that, like, Lou was the blonde kid. Hang on. That I saw in, like, the Google search. What the fuck? Okay, you guys gotta see this fucking Google search. Hang on. I'm gonna fuck with the filters. That's the wrong thing. Window capture, filters. You can't read any of my bookmarks, and it's not like there's much of anything, you know, there. Look what fucking comes up when you search for this fucker. The second result is X-Reader. The person who suggested this fucking fanbase to me was goddamn correct. This shit is bizarre. Now to fuck with the filters again. Ugh. Anyways. No. Lose the blonde kid. So that makes this stuff really confusing. Whatever. What the fuck is this? Peter Griffin? embedded images and animated GIFs. Whatever. Are you comparing a fucking, you know, whatever. What the fuck is going on? Oh god. This is already making me wish that, like, the fruit punch in this wine bottle was actually alcohol. The fuck? Ah! Huh? Man, how many more fucking fanfictions are there for this shit? I just realized probably the saddest part about this whole stream is I'm gonna have to have fucking ugly doll shit in my goddamn search history. Just hope it doesn't show up in my phone. I should clear my history after this. I forgot to actually clear my history after the, like, I forget to clear my history a lot. I mean, not like I have much to hide. Well, there's that part. You know, I'm just gonna clear my history now. History. Clear browsing data. Last hour. There we are. Anyways. Is there anybody in chat? This whole thing is just gonna be me reading fanfiction myself. Isn't it? I wonder if I could find some of my old fanfiction. I've deleted, like, all of it. Like, almost all of it. I know some of it's around, but it was from when I was, like, 13, so I can't really, you know, blame myself. You know something? I've never watched Seinfeld. I accidentally clicked browse instead of search. But how about Seinfeld? How about some Seinfeld fanfiction? Jerry Seinfeld invokes the wrath of the greatest self-insert of all time and pays for his sins. I'd like to remind everybody, I've never watched Seinfeld, like, ever. I don't know anything about Seinfeld. This isn't like Family Guy, where I've never watched an episode of Family Guy, but I know, like, stuff about it. Oh, hey, somebody's fucking here! What's up? It's been, 31 minutes of, me just reading shit to myself. Oh, I forgot to... Whoops. Yeah. Oh, right, that reminds me. There's this big ol' kazoo that I'm gonna play at midnight. I'm gonna toot that really loud at midnight. Yeah, oh, welcome to the fucking stream. We're reading fanfiction again. This time we've got Seinfeld fanfic. Absolutely incredible. Seinfeld fanfiction does in fact exist. Yeah, I've never watched Seinfeld either. Like, this isn't like Family Guy where it's just like, I've never watched an actual episode, but I know like stuff about the show and whatnot from like fans and stuff. I know absolutely nothing about Seinfeld. I'm gonna throw this in the, I'm gonna throw this in the, it's 433 words, so it should be very short. Oh boy. Incredible. Huh? Oh wait, I just had a realization. What if I read some of Yandere Dev's fanfiction? I'm gonna put that on the back burner. I'm just gonna, hang on. Eva Seffen fanfiction. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna put that on the back burner while we look through more, we're gonna put that on the back burner while we look for more, Seinfeld stuff. I should really, like, turn off, the crossover option. If anybody asks, I never made this, and you never read this. Symbiosis. How I Sign Fell for You. An incredible name. Wait, this is Ace Attorney. What does it... Okay. This is Ace Attorney. Why is it in the Seinfeld tag? It's 137 words, so... Okay, might I add, so I have Yonder Devs, oh, Jesus Christ. 350,000 words. A Soul Calibur fanfiction. Written by Yonder Dev. You know, as I've heard, I've heard that apparently this one, actually, I'm gonna check. Apparently this was last updated apparently in 2020. Almost 2 years ago. Well, not 2 full years. Well, like, a year ago. Implying that he's still sort of writing this shit. So I'm just gonna, like... does it tell us when this was, like... Also, I know nothing about Soul Calibur either. Oh, this is the final chapter. Yeah, so I've heard, this chapter was apparently written in, 2020. How do I fucking tell? Oh, updated September 20, 2009. Never mind. Never mind, I was wrong. I guess I heard wrong. Alright, anyways, back to the, welcome to fuck. Seinfeld fandom, grab your nothing. Oh god, that is a long dead reference. Oh god. Okay, so for... it's a fucking reference to the blank fandom grab your whatever item Tumblr thing from, like, probably the early 2010s. Hang on. Didn't I see this one? Didn't we see this one last time? And this one I definitely saw last time. Squidward gets on Discord after it. Okay. Oh yeah, I should do some SpongeBob fanfiction or some shit. That'd be funny. Squidward Tentacle / Cosmo Kramer. You know what? I'm probably gonna be reading a bunch of different fan fictions, so I'm just gonna stick with this. And I won't be doing any impressions because, again, I know nothing about Seinfeld, and I don't know how any of the characters sound. Jerry strolled into the room with a spring in his step. Costanza, have you ever invoked the wrath of the son of Cthulhu? All the time, said Costanza, completely failing to elaborate. Why do you ask? Well, you see, it was not often that Jerry lost his cool, but this was one of those times he fell to his knees, forcing all the air out of his lungs like blood from a stone in one almighty scream. It was a scream that would have sent shivers down the spine of a dead oak tree. Costanza refused to indulge in Jerry's psychobabble, taking one glance at his broken comrade before grabbing a steaming hot mug of coffee everywhere. Nope, that's just how the sentence is written. That's just how the sentence is written. Except the handle, and chugging it all. The destruction of his entire respiratory system was preferable to the indignity of using a handle to drink his beverage. God, why do I have a fucking headache already? It's probably because this loud-ass music is playing in my ears. It's probably not as loud on stream, but like... Actually, do you mind if I just turn off the music? I think it's kind of giving me a headache. Just gonna... So engrossed was Costanza in his piping hot beverage that the 6'6" levitating mass of levitating mass of muscles, 7-foot brown hair, and boombox blaring old Genesis records completely escaped his attention. Jerry Seinfeld, you are a coward, a fool, and a very small man, declared Leonard, I don't fucking know. Leonard Cool Guy. Incredible name. Declared Leonard Cool Guy as he fired lasers from his blood-red eyes, melting straight through his aviator sunglasses and causing copious amounts of property damage. Costanza, help me! Sorry, Jerry, this is your burden. For a brief moment, a very specific look had been chiseled into the rock that was Jerry's face. It was the look of a man who had been to the gates of heaven, crossed beyond the known and seen sights that 1 trillion minds could not begin to fathom. Sights that had burned into his very psyche, destroyed all of Jerry's knowledge of what it meant to be human. The delivery on the last part was fucking awful. This was a man who had been past the all-consuming claws of sanity and into lands unknown, who had lived but could not even begin to speak the tale. And then he was gone, to the complete and utter indifference of one George Costanza. Leonard Cool Guy approached Costanza, who turned around and liked very much what he saw. Come, my boy, said Cool Guy. Cool Guy. Said Cool Guy, the cool guy, to the love-struck fool before him, who took his hand, and the two went into the burning New York sunset hand in hand. Meanwhile, Jerry found himself in a pit of damnation, hungry scarabs covering every inch of his body, when a face so gormless its owner's identity was unmistakable greeted him. Boy, it's like the 9th circle of hell in here, observed Kramer with a content grin. Jerry was rather rude and deeply ungrateful in reply. It's gonna get loud. Kramer! Help me! I wrote this a few months ago for my school's creative writing club, and I am so deeply sorry. OP, there is absolutely nothing to apologize for. This was great. Next up, we have Squidward Has Yet Another Shitty Fucking Day, Chapter 1. I'm gonna try and do an impression for Squidward. So long, simpletons, said Squidward, removing his uniform after another brutal 12-hour shift at the Krusty Krab. By Monday, I'll be living the dream in a foreign city. Indeed, welcome to the stream. Oh god, now I gotta try and do a Mr. Krabs impression. I'm not gonna do a Mr. Krabs impression. Yar, no, you probably won't, Squidward. You have an MFA in art history and terrible people skills. You'll probably work here for the rest of your life, said Mr. Krabs, which made Squidward feel very upset, but he didn't really have a good response because he wasn't expecting the conversation to get so real, so he just kind of stood there for a second and then walked out the door. When he got home, all he wanted was to microwave a pizza and get on his computer, which was a big clam. When he logged onto Discord, he saw that two of his friends, Seinfeld Universe Cosmo Kramer and Luigi Mario, were in the voice channel. Right then it was called Girugamesh, which was some reference that only Luigi understood, but when anyone tried to change it, Luigi would just change it back, so they just left it like that. Hey, what's up, gaylords? Said Squidward right after joining the chat. Hey, Squidward, said Kramer, through his high-quality Audio-Technica mic. We were just about to do a Flockmod collaborative... What the fuck is Flockmod? We were just about to do a Flockmod collaborative drawing if you want to join. No, Flockmod is stupid. It doesn't have undos. Let's do a draw pile, replied Squidward Tentacles. Hang on, who's saying... Squidward, draw pile only works when you host it. I don't want to draw on your slow underwater internet. It'd be worse than the time me and George had to go to Elaine's wedding and ended up accidentally eating the ring and getting run out of town by an angry mob, said Kramer out loud. You know, I'm going to set a timer for midnight so I know when to play the kazoo really quickly. It's going to play a Six Impala song. So when you just... Yeah, you'll hear something weird when that happens. Anyways. I'm seriously only doing it if we do a draw pile. You know my art style needs undos, so if we do a flock mod, I can't draw in my special Squidward style. I can't do a Luigi impression ever either, so I'm just gonna try a general Italian man impression. Come on, guys, please don't fight. I don't know how to do a fucking God, fuck. Luigi, turn up your mic sensitivity. What, Luigi? I can't hear you. Hang on, actually. Luigi, turn up your mic sensitivity. What, Luigi? I can't hear you, said Squidward and Kramer at the same time. I said don't fight, please. Oh my god, fine. What's the password for the draw pile, Squidward? Asked Kramer. It's Garen, snickered Squidward nasally, and they all logged on to the draw pile. For the next 15 minutes, they chatted while Squidward got into his art zone by taking heaving gulps of his favorite Cola Royale Crown Cola. You have nothing to say but Yugoslavia? Welcome to the fucking stream. We're reading SpongeBob X Seinfeld fanfiction at the moment. Anyways, by taking heaving gulps of his favorite Cola Royal Crown Cola and doing really big gesture drawings on the background layer. Finally, he began to chip away at his masterpiece like Michelangelo sculpting David. After another half hour of drawing, while listening to Green Day Holiday over and over again on loop, he was done. Finished, announced Squidward. I call it bold and brash. Kramer zoomed out to see a really detailed anime swordsman with different colored eyes. Looks fucking shitty, said Kramer from Seinfeld. It's even less good of a drawing than the episode where Jerry tried to draw a picture of Bryan Cranston's dentist character, and it turned out poorly, so Bryan Cranston committed malpractice and removed all of Jerry's teeth. Also, I can literally see the photo you traced for the body. Just because you hide a layer for yourself doesn't mean you hide it for everybody else. What about Ivory? Yeah, the facial... I'm just going to talk in a normal voice for Luigi, too. Yeah, the facial proportions are pretty off, Squidward. I'm Chris Pratt Luigi now. Yeah, the facial proportions are pretty off, Squidward. Did you try applying the rule of eighth? Yahoo, said Luigi. No, I didn't trace. It's not traced, screamed Squidward as he frantically deleted the photo layer. And that's how I draw faces. It's my style. All you guys draw is your stupid Sonic OCs. How would you know how to draw faces? Squidward stood up. Fuck you, Kramer. I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was gonna go over to Jerry Seinfeld's apartment real quick and get some Triscuits anyways, said Kramer. No. A guy in my chat literally simping over a furry? What? Huh? what, huh? Who? What? What's happening? Is chat still playing? Yep, it is. Good. Please give me the details on the guy in your chat simping over a furry. I fucking moved my mouth away from the bottle. Furry from FNAF Security Breach. Oh, is it the is it the robot with the green hair and pronounce, or is it Chica 2 or whatever? I'm gonna bounce this bouncy ball on the desk a little bit. I hope you don't mind. No, I'm just gonna keep reading. No, don't leave me alone again, man. I'm scared of booze, whined Luigi. Alright, fine, said Kramer, and Squidward tabbed out and went to the bathroom. A weirdly long amount of time to spend in the bathroom later, Squidward returned to his desk feeling refreshed. But when he put his headset back on, he noticed that Kramer was snickering. Hey, what's so funny? Asked Squidward, but when he tabbed back in, he noticed that Kramer had defaced his drawing with poorly drawn penises! Turn your, fucking volume down. I can't scream that loud, but I'm gonna get really close to the mic. Squidward immediately began to scream, so loud that the speakers on his headset exploded. I'm not doing a fucking SpongeBob. I can only do a Squidward impression. I'm sorry. I'm not like a professional voice actor or anything. Still gonna try. A little bit. Hey, Squidward. Or fucking... fuck it. No, I'm not doing an impression. Hey, Squidward, what's wrong? I'm not doing the laugh either. Just fuck off, said SpongeBob, peeking through the bedroom door. SpongeBob, get out of here right now. I'm literally not even joking. This is not a fun time for me. I'm not in the mood to do light, silly banter. Literally, you need to get out of my Easter Island head this exact instant, or I might hurt you, and it won't be my fault, because I'm not in control of my actions, said Squidward, hunched over and typing furiously in the chat. Squidward's bloodlusted WPM was well into the thousands, so his angry messages soon eclipsed the Discord message length limit. He pasted it into a text file on his desktop, but he only had 18.7 gigabytes free on his hard drive, which he filled up almost immediately with his hateful invective directed at Kramer and all his loved ones, including his friends Bob Sacamino and Newman. Okay. He spent $7 on a terabyte of cloud storage, which he used up completely in no more than 15 seconds after he originally started typing. He pasted a link to the message in chat, but Kramer responded with a trollface.png. At this point, Squadward wasn't even mad anymore, because he was honestly just sitting there laughing because of how pathetic Kramer is being. Who would think that you can respond to a well-reasoned argument with just a troll face? And also a message that said, wait, Jesus Christ, how long is this? This is longer than the 2-part episode of The Bottle Deposit. But Squidward wasn't really paying attention at that point. Have you suffered while reading this? Honestly, not much. Pretty much everything I've read so far has just been satire fics. But soon, very soon, we should be suffering, because we'll be reading Yandere Dev's old fanfiction. And I think I'm gonna try to dig up I think I might even try to dig up some of my old fanfiction. Though the only stuff that would like, probably the only stuff that'd be around would be like stuff that I wrote when I was 13. Gonna go downstairs for New Year's. Have a good New Year's. Yeah. Chortled Squidward.
One day I'll be rich and famous, and then I'll be bagging my groceries all at the same time. I will hire them all to repeatedly bag and unbag the same groceries and pay them less than minimum wage, which is even lower in the ocean than Missouri.
As night fell, Squidward went to bed and thought about all the fun adventures he had. While he was asleep, his investments lost several $1,000s. The end. Next we have Weep Softly. Which is like, it's listed as an Ace Attorney fanfiction, but it also has Seinfeld in it, so I was like, why not? This one also seems to be just a shitpost. It's only like 137 words. Notes. I loved the OS game, but I wish my parents wouldn't fight as much. Alright, dramatic reading time. Gemshu wants a raise, and oh. Fuck! Of course it's Homestuck! Fucking how many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words in. It's always Homestuck. It's always Homestuck. Oh, it's almost I'm actually gonna turn off my timer. Because it's practically, like, 12 p.m. I don't have a clock, but I'm gonna put my kazoo in my mouth. Gonna take half of Asia. Good luck, homie. I'm just gonna wait for a sec until it's until it's 12 a.m. It's 12 a.m. Happy fucking New Year. It's 2022. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. We made it another year. Anyways, back to the fanfiction. Gemshu wants a race, and Karkat gives him a slap. This is Apple, Boots with Fur, Christmas Gifty, and Miriam Scuttlebutt. The dark struts of Hornswaggle was the harm that my OC didn't steal live in. He is a judge in trainin' and loves Simon Blackquill, but Blackquill won't admit he loves him too. His name was Darkhand Edgeboot. Oh no, a ghost was following him across the street and was sucking his soul out an innocent bystander and written their what the fuck? Oh, phalanges for supper/dinner. He used his gavel to smash him into gross blopped and stuff and saved the day, not all the lend from evil. In the Ebnd Iman Blackquill loved he and they had Abby exalted Michael's Ergweth and sent him back in Tim E to be the prosecutor. So anyways, here's Yanderdev's fan fiction. If you're wondering why this link is purple, it's because we checked on it earlier in the stream. Cause I thought it was like last updated in like 2020. Oh, the profile was last updated in 2020. Not the fan fiction. I can't believe this shit has 350,000 fucking words. Wait. Actually, didn't he write like a Persona 3 fanfiction? Hang on. Yandere Dev Persona 3 fanfic. Okay, so we've got a Reddit thread. Yandere Dev wrote a Persona 3 fanfiction, and it's hilarious. And this is marked as NSFW. I'm just going to go and check. Okay, this is it's an image. It's an Imgur. It's on Imgur. Oh god. You know, there's one thing I'm going to say. Out of the Persona protagonists, for like 5, 4, and 3, the Persona 3 protagonist is, to be honest, the only protagonist that I can believe is like fully heterosexual. I don't know why, though to be fair, I've never actually played Persona 3. I played a little of Persona 4 Golden, and I've played Persona 5 way too many times just trying to platinum it. Yeah, that's just my take, I guess. Ah, fuck. I clicked on email instead of OBS again. Anyways, back to May. I'm gonna see if I can actually find... you did, in fact, miss the kazoo. Very sorry. It happened at, 12 p.m. My nose is all runny. Whenever it gets a little cold, my nose starts running like there's no fucking tomorrow. But yeah, I'm sorry, you missed the kazoo. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can, like, find the, I'm like halfway done with my bottle. I've got a bottle of a fruit punch. It's like I've got a bottle of I've got a wine bottle of fruit punch. Oh, it's on Wattpad? Oh, wait, no. It seems like it's a re-upload. Yeah, wine bottles hold, like, a lot less than they let on. Okay, so... No, so I'm logged into the account that I wrote, the fucking, What was it fucking called? I'm logged into the account that I wrote the fucking Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro stuff on. So, and before you ask, I don't use it for anything else. I'm gonna read the Right, so I don't think the stream is like marked as a I don't think the stream is marked as like restricted. So it's NSFW, so I'm going to just like stop reading when it starts getting like, NSFW. So here's because this is a re-upload. This is the Persona 3 fanfiction Yandere Dev wrote. This is the Persona 3 fanfiction Yandere Dev wrote. I'm not familiar with the Persona universe. This is a direct copy-paste. A few things to note. 1. I in no way support nor endorse Yandere Dev, as stated in my tweet. This is just simply used for documentation purposes only. It's on my main, and I'm no way... I don't know. Anyways. And there is Gacha Life in my fucking... At least I think that's Gacha Life. There is Gacha Life in my You'll Also Like section. Whatever. It was selfish and dangerous and dishonorable. Minato knew that. Oh wait, I still have the tweet open. He was putting his life, his reputation, and his role in Seas at risk. Minato knew that too. Not familiar with Persona 3, only 4 and 5. Same. The only thing I know about Persona 3 is like the stuff that I've like seen on the internet, like people talking about it, and like the only thing that I know about Persona 3 is like what I've seen on the internet, like what I've heard people say about it, and like stuff like that, and what I've played in Persona Q. That's it. Not only had he left the dorm during the dark hour, but he'd also procured his evoker from the command room when no operation was underway. These simple actions might as well have been criminal offensive in the eyes of Shuji or Mitsuru. Either warranted severe punishment, or were both both were adequate reason to expel him from Seas altogether. But Minato would perform yet another unforgivable tab. I'm already fucking laughing. He's gonna fuck a Persona, isn't he? He's gonna fuck like a Lilim or something. But Minato would perform yet another unforgivable taboo act before the night was through. He would summon a persona for reasons completely unrelated to the safety of the city. If a person possesses a rare power that few others share, it is only sensible to use that power. If that person's power can be used to save the lives of many others, it is only reasonable that he uses his power whenever possible. It was practically his duty to use this power. What kind of person would he have to be to turn down his position in Seas, and leave the city's population just that much more vulnerable to the shadows? He could not refuse to protect the city because he was one of the few who could. Whether or not he wanted to be a part of Seas was irrelevant. It was his duty by principle, his obligation by circumstance. There were times when Minato felt honored to possess this power. Privileged to be a member of Seas, thrilled to know that by using this power, he was saving lives. And then there were times when the strain of his duty drove him to wish that his evoker was a real firearm. The horrors he had seen in Tartarus, the pain that those abominations had inflicted upon him, and the emotional distress that he was forced to invoke on himself, sometimes several times per minute, in order to evoke his personae. Each foray into the Tartarus was more traumatic than the last. No amount of injuries made the pain more bearable. No victory over a shadow ever made them any less terrifying.
He saw those beasts when he slept, when he closed his eyes, when he tried to focus on the blackboard in school. How did the others expect him to maintain an ordinary life while fighting those horrendous monsters every night? He'd stepped into that backwards tower many times now, but every time he still felt terror grip him. Still feared for his life every time his shadow drew near. This is a lot of like I know that I know that like fan fictions have a tendency to like do a lot of like, you know, talking before the actual events of the story, you know, kind of going over talking to the characters like fucking mental state or whatever the fuck. But this is a lot of text. This is a lot of talking. Like, goddamn. He'd stepped into that backwards tower many times now, but every time he still felt terror grip him. Still feared for his life every time his shadow drew near. He would never get used to it. It would never be normal to see one of those foul beasts. It would never be normal to hold something shaped like a gun, point at his head, and pull the trigger. Oh, this reminds me of when Yandere Dev said Persona 3 was his favorite game, and one of the reasons was because he can do things that he can't do in real life. Like put a gun to his head and pull the trigger. God. Yeah. That was probably the wrong thing to say. Anyways. Sorry, spaced out. Spaced out for a second. The evoker. Minato looked down at the device that he now cradled in both hands. The device that had inflicted so much pain on his mind. He despised using it. It never got easier, since it wouldn't work if it didn't cause him sufficient mental distress. He knew it wasn't a real gun. He knew it couldn't kill him, but he still feared and hated the device. He knew that every time he used it, that horrible sensation would course throughout his body. The feeling that was terrible enough to evoke something The feeling that was terrible enough to evoke something buried deep down in his subconscious. Persona. The stress that it placed on his mind only lasted for a second, just enough to draw out the persona, but every use of the device caused him to hate it more, and fear the next time he would call upon it. Ironic, then, that tonight he would use the device to bring himself pleasure. It's getting putrid! Oh, there's 9 comments on this part. Let's see what they are. The fic was going good, but it's Yanda the incel that we're talking about here. The first few paragraphs are pretty par for the course Persona 3 angst, which I really like. And this line reminded me who the author is. Son of a bitch! I fucking knew where this was going! He's about to bone the fucking spirits! It was all too much for him. Classes, popularity, friends, exam, scheduling's time to balance them all. Every student had to deal with those things, but he had a lot more on his plate than just that. Seas, shadows, the dark hour, Tartarus, the evoker. It all placed far too much stress on his mind. Stress that was only amplified each time he pulled that despicable trigger. It affected every aspect of his life now. He couldn't do a single thing without being reminded that later on he was going to buy weapons from a cop, or go to hell at midnight, or feel pain rivaling that of a bullet through the brain. Countless times. Or feel pain rivaling that of a bullet through the brain countless times before the night was through. No aspect of life felt normal anymore. He couldn't take anything seriously knowing who he was, what he was capable of, and the activities that dominated his nights. He couldn't even look at girls without being reminded of social links and other C's-related things. Girls. Oh, this is the part that I saw in the fucking screenshots. This is where it gets really bad. Without getting NSFW. Girls. He felt so isolated from them all. He lived with Yukari and Mitsuru, but since they were nothing more than comrades, their gender counted for nothing. The opposite sex was the only thing he ever heard anybody talking about. but no girls had ever shown any interest in him. He was the only guy in his circle of friends without experience, the only guy who hadn't been on a date, the only guy who had never been desired by a girl. Was he really that unappealing? Was he really that hopeless? Would things always be this way? If only a girl would just like him, he could feel better about himself. He'd be self-confident if he knew that it was possible for a girl to like him. But he wouldn't be appealing to girls until he was self-confident. It was a catch-22. It was a feedback loop he could never escape from. Oh, no. Yonde Booga Booga is self-projecting. This ain't Minato, this is incel. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody agrees. He's just fucking projecting. That feeling of inescapable despair and loneliness was what finally pushed him to the edge and drove him to do what he'd done tonight. He wasn't even sure if it would work, but he needed comfort, relief, pleasure. Oh, God. He had almost forgotten what it felt like to enjoy himself. What it felt like to let go of everything. That was a voice crack right there. He had almost forgotten what it felt like to enjoy himself. What it felt like to let go of everything and indulge in self-centered fun. That was what he was going on. We're going places I'm not a fan of. That was what he was going to do tonight. He had struggled with this decision for so long, but his latest near-death experience in Tartarus had reminded him that he could die any night now. He didn't want to spend another night alone, desperate, insecure, worrying that he'd die a virgin. Fuck. Oh, God. Oh, this is fucking awful. I really hope that I never, get doxxed or any shit like that. Because if my employers find this fucking YouTube channel, I am never going to get a job. Oh, God. He didn't want to spend another night alone, desperate, insecure, worrying that he'd die a virgin. If his plan worked, then he'd never have to worry about that again. Minato was surprised by the number of his personae that all had the form of a human woman. Personae had been explained to him as Personae had been explained to him as physical manifestations of his subconscious psyche, or some unintelligible Freudian babble like that. Freudian, I said that wrong. All he understood was that personae were parts of him that he drew out using the evoker. When he... Oh, God, this is where it gets really bad. When he first saw his inner subconscious taking the form of women, he started to fear that he might be subconsciously homosexual. When he first saw his inner subconscious taking the form of women, he started to fear that he might be subconsciously homosexual. But over time, it slowly began to make sense to him. Persona were reflections of his innermost subconscious desires. Women. Time to read the comments! Kicked my desk. Would this technically mean Rio Mina is canon in this fix because Thanatos exists? Females? When the woman is sus. Women. Women. Female human. Woman. Women. Women. Sure as fuck is a women. Minato was aware that he only felt the desire to engage in sexual behavior because it was part of every living organism's biological programming. He was aware that He was aware that the compulsion he felt was nothing more than his body's way of assuring that he produced offspring. That the only matter of importance to any biological organism. But sex meant more to him than that. Having sex would be a milestone in his life. It would dictate his self-respect. It would make him feel like an equal to his peers. He felt like there was a part of life he was missing out on, and he wouldn't be a complete human being until he'd experienced it.
5 comments.
Although there are a great number of people who could provide reasoning for one. Although. I fucked up the same word 3 times now. Although there are a great number of people who could provide reasoning for why one should not judge one's self-worth by such standards, Minato had dwelled on the matter far too much for his mind to be easily swayed. Sex, or rather, his lack of sex. Mitsuru, please, I lack sex.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Sex, or rather, his lack of sex, had become almost an obsession to him, frequently reinforced by the sight of all the female bodies around him. His female classmates and teachers, the attractive Yukari and Mitsuru, and the scantily clad women that emerged from his head. All too often were like juicy steaks dangled in front of a starving man.
Okay, I know that I don't know all that much about Persona 3. But I don't think there's a single damn Persona protagonist that thinks like this. What the fuck?
He could not have his classmates, for they showed no interest in them. He could not have Yukari or Mitsuru, for they were out of his league, and his comrades before that. But the Personae were a different story, for his Personae obeyed him unquestioningly.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, he misspelled steaks, didn't he? Yeah, that's the wrong kind of steak. Right here. That spelled like steak, like the kind of thing you stab a vampire with. No, I do not want to share this on Facebook.
His perception of the Personae had changed over time. At first he thought of them as they were explained to him, an extension of himself, taking physical form. But over time, he began to identify them as being separate from himself. Their names appeared in his mind when he obtained them, and when appearing in the Velvet Room, they spoke to him before entering his heart. The freakish, imp-like man who resided in the Velvet Room had terrified Minato at first, but over time, Igor's appearance became water under the bridge once he proved to be assistive, if cryptic. His ability to fuse multiple personas had proven to be invaluable, and Minato found himself frequenting the Velvet Room more and more as his collection of personae expanded. Although Minato found himself slightly attracted to Igor's peculiar assistant, he did not imagine that anyone else in the room would be the object of his infatuation. Until a routine fusion yielded the most human-looking persona he'd encountered yet. "I am Lilim," she had purred in a soft, demure voice. "I will think only of your well-being." Her form was that of a human woman, with the addition of 2 bat-like wings and a long, slim tail. Aside from these extra appendages and her long, elf-like ears, she could have easily passed for an actual human woman. He's gonna fuck a Lilim.
Okay, you know something. Hi Pixie, from SMT Persona, looks like a lesbian Polnareff. Hang on, let me show you guys. High Pixie SMT. Yeah, it's visible enough. Yeah, High Pixie looks like a lesbian Polnareff. Anyways.
She was supernaturally beautiful, perfect, ideal, flawless in every way. Long, dark, wavy hair, hypnotizing eyes, and a figure that put
Reviewer.
and a figure that put gravure idols to shame. Clothed only in a white leotard, Minato's mouth fell open, and had the persona not vanished to retreat into his heart, he might have spent all of eternity standing there, entranced by her beauty and perfection. Mouth drops to the ground, eyes pop out, awooga, awooga sounds. Horn honking, milk truck crashes in background. Minato had never once been tempted to abuse or misuse his powers, but the sight of the winged vixen was the feather that broke the camel's back. Or rather, the 100-pound dumbbell that snapped the camel in two. Minato was drawing up plans to steal his evoker from the command room and escape the dorm at night before he was even out the Velvet Room's enigmatic blue door. He was not sure if his plan would work. In the past, every time he had summoned a persona, the being had only manifested temporarily before retreating back into him. He had never tried to issue a command to a persona that was not combat-related, and did not expect a self-respecting entity to obey his selfish whims. However, he was desperate enough to give it a try. Minato looked down the barrel of his evoker, nervous, shaking, sweating. Was this the way he wanted to lose his virginity? He didn't care. From the looks of things, no girls were ever going to be interested in him anyway. He'd have to take whatever he could get, and he certainly wouldn't mind his first experience coming from a jaw-dropping babe like Lilim, either.
Highly doubt Minato would even think about that. Like, ever. Yeah. I agree, dude. I might not know anything about. I might not know much of anything about the Persona 3 protagonist, but I feel like he would not do this.
He'd have to take whatever he could get. Oh wait, we already read that line. Of course, all these thoughts were moot if Lilim would not agree to his requests. Then again, all personae so far had obeyed him without hesitation, and none had shown the capacity for disloyalty. He was confident that his plan would work. She was a part of him. How could she refuse him? Wait. She was a part of him. Would this be like having sex with him? Would this be... Seems like the least likely. Yeah. If she was a part of him, would this be like having sex with himself? An advanced form of masturbation? 5 comments. Seen JoJo. You've seen JoJo in SFW? Huh? He shook the thoughts from his head. As long as his hands were on that beautiful body, he didn't care about the details. He didn't have time to mull over it all. The dark hour was already half over, since it had taken him some time to procure his evoker, escape from the dorm, and arrive at the Love Hotel, where he now sat upon a large circular bed. This was the spot that he had chosen to carry out this experiment. He could think of no place that was more fitting. How did he get into a love hotel? Like, I've never been to a love hotel or anything, right? But I have played Yakuza 3. That's Yakuza 3, not Persona 3. And, like, unless he broke in, I don't think they would let, like, a minor into a love hotel. I don't think they would let, well, I don't think they would let a person, like, alone into a love hotel, much less a minor. Like, maybe it's because my only experience with love hotels is, again, from Yakuza 3. But, like, still. He pressed the evoker to his head, closed his eyes, and prepared for the familiar pain. I'm gonna stop using my mouse wheel now, just to we're getting close here, so we're gonna have to, you know, the moment that any dicks are brought out, we're gonna have to, you know, leave. Chapter 2. Ephemeral ecstasy. Pain, hurt, agony, grief, suffering. It lasted no more than a second, but felt like an eternity. As soon as it was over, Minato tossed the sickening device to the side and looked up at the being floating before him. He had not seen her emerge from him. He'd never seen a persona materialize before. He forgot some punctuation here. He'd never seen a persona materialize before, always too traumatized by the pain of the evoker to notice what was happening around him for a few seconds. Even though he had summoned her himself, her sudden presence in the room was unnerving before her beauty outweighed her. Oh, fuck. Even though he had summoned her himself, her sudden presence in the room was unnerving before her beauty outweighed her abrupt appearance. Every time I go to look at, like, the little slider over here, there's, like, I have a screenshot of a Galarian from the Project Sakai event on my desktop, and it looks like he's just looking at me and judging me like a judge. She was just as gorgeous as he recalled, even more so up close. Every curve called out to him with a siren song, begging to be touched. The leotard teased him, begging to be Tom off. Her wings fluttered, and her tail flicked to and fro in a playful, almost flirtatious manner. His eyes explored her body anxiously and eagerly as possibilities and wishes ran through his mind. "What do you require from me, Arisato Minato?" the vixen cooed with the same sultry yet innocent voice as before. He swooned and nearly fainted at the sound of his name. He swooned and nearly fainted at the sound of his name exiting those soft, plump lips of hers. Suffering, he said. I want you to ease my pain. Are you injured? Willem asked, her large eyes widening in concern. Do you require healing? No, I'm not. But I'm suffering because I need something so badly, he said, struggling to find a tasteful way to explain his desires. What do you require? Willem asked, leaning forward to hear his reply. Am I being too quiet? Hang on, I'm gonna like read through through OBS for a little. I'm gonna read the next. I need to touch a woman's body, he said. That's why I summoned you. I want to touch you. I feel like it's a little bit quiet. Hang on, I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, I'd say that's good. It goes into the yellow zone, which is where I usually am.
Lilum tossed her head back and giggled. A soft laugh that sounded like droplets of water cascading into a pond. That's all? She asked happily. Well, go ahead and touch me, then.
I feel like the I feel like the misspellings that are getting more frequent are kind of representative of how Yandev's fucking faring during this. I'm gonna read the 11 comments on this part. Boy, what the hell, boy? I'm going to fucking cry.
Is that why Yandev bought a sex doll?
Minato was frozen in dumbfounded shock that she had agreed to his request before his lust snapped him out of his trance. His eyes focused on Lilum's breasts, soft and round and smooth, and every positive adjective he could think of. He raised his hands and timidly, gingerly, moved them toward her chest, trembling with nervousness. Finally, he let go of his inhibitions and bravely seized her breasts with his hands. A long sigh of relief and satisfaction passed his lips. And I think I should probably I feel like I'm kind of pushing the limits of what I'm allowed to read on YouTube without a restriction, without the, age restriction. Considering whose fan fiction we're reading at the moment, it'd probably be more fitting if I put this punch into a wine glass rather than a bottle. Consume the blood chalice. You know what? I feel like I should go. I not end the stream. I feel like I should stop reading this. I feel like it's about time. I feel like we're kind of pushing the limits of what's allowed on YouTube, Yeah, we got a solid couple of sentences of Persona 3 protag grabbing Lilum's boobs. Yeah. What happens when Link becomes sexually frustrated? Oh no. 3,000 words. I might have some old drafts of my own fanfiction. From, probably when I was 15. Fuck. Nope. I wrote it on what at the time was my my school Gmail account. For some reason, probably because I was in school at the time and I didn't have access to any other accounts. But I cannot access that account anymore, so. I have that I have that account on I'm just gonna quickly go and delete the account from the list, because if I can't get into it anymore, there's no reason for me to actually I don't know how to get rid of it. Never mind. So what next?
Now, what's in Yandere Dev's favorite authors? Insomniac by choice. What kind of stuff does this guy write? So this is the only guy. This is the only. His profile was updated in June 23rd, 2018. Metroid smut? What? Writing this stuff for a while. This guy sure has This guy sure has some opinions on fan fiction. Stories, nothing more would be needed if this only required telling a good story that contributes positively to the universe that it was based on. It fills a painfully lacking hole. This should be fan fiction. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. This makes me want to This makes me want to write literally the worst fan fiction you've ever read in your life. This makes me want to make the fucking dream that I had, where shipping Gallery and Marlin and Shun Akiyama was a thing, a reality. This makes me want to write the most painfully stupid fucking shit you've ever read. Get a load of this guy. It should stand upright on its own. Be, I am something worth reading. Not fluffy trash for teens and 20-somethings with nothing better to do. I aspire and achieve. Bro, sometimes people just want to read or write stuff for fun, dude. Not everything has to be like this, dude. And he wrote this. Okay. And then he went on to write Metroid smut. Okay, dude. You know, maybe I'm just misunderstanding this whole thing. Maybe this is actually incredibly, thought out. Maybe this is incredibly true. But from what I'm reading, this guy sounds like a jackass. Of course, this is Yandere Dev's one and only favorite author. Maybe I should just maybe I should turn this into a fanfiction writing stream. Maybe I should log on to the Wattpads, and write either more of the Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro shit, or make the Gallery and Akiyama thing a reality. Wouldn't that be something? The only issue is that I don't completely know where I'm going with the Ben Shapiro Charlie Kirk shit, and I would have no idea where to even start with the Gallery and Akiyama stuff. But yeah. You know, how about we just browse on Archive Our Own? Let's see what's happening. The first one is a Hololive fanfiction. Okay. No beta, we die like Yuku's dream. Placeholder? What's this? I told you this is a placeholder. Alright, good to know. Of course, 3 fucking fanfictions in. There's an MCYT fanfiction. You know what? I'm gonna keep track of how many times we see I'm gonna get out a pen. I'm gonna keep track of just that's not a pen. That's one of those styluses that I used to use for my fucking How's this pen? It's fine. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna keep a tally of how many MCYT fanfictions we see on here. So far we have 2. I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah, we have two MCYT related fanfictions. Oh. Lovely. Okay. We've got a Haikyuu fanfiction. Something called Cobra Kai. Kagero Project. I've heard about Kagero Project. Though, to be honest, I only know about it because I was watching a 2-hour Avilius lore. I was watching a 2-hour Avilius lore. Fucking what's it called? Avilius lore lecture. That's the word. Lecture. And they mentioned Kagero Project at the beginning. By the way, said lecture I thought that I was just misunderstanding. I thought that I was just kind of misunderstanding a lot of the lore for Ivilius. Turns out it's just full of plot holes. It's not as good as I thought, but that's okay because it's fun. That's 3. I wonder what kind of fan fiction people have written about like Library of Runa. Oh, it's only 1 page. Okay, so yeah, 1 page. We got 3 MCYT fan fictions. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what people have written about like Library of Runa, Lobotomy Corp stuff. Though I feel like a lot of it's just gonna be like generic, like people probably shipping Netzach and Roland, and Angela and Roland, maybe Angelica and Roland. But fuck it, let's see what's in there. Let's see what we've got. Library of Runa. Search. Wait, is Elena the hang on. Hang on. Okay, yeah, Elena's the Blood Red Knight. For a second there, I mixed up Elena and Aline. And, oh yeah, if we're not going to read any more Beyond Redev stuff, we can just exit out of this. But yeah, this is just probably about Elena. Elena drinks blood in canon, so. Emma slash... I have no fucking idea what that is. Dennis and Gan. Which one's Dennis? Hang on. I'm going to be looking up a lot of characters because I forget things easily. Dennis, Library of Runa. Oh, Dennis is the guy from the that's right. Dennis is from like the Thumb, right? Yeah, there's nothing really interesting so far. It's just kind of, you know, Gebra Hod. Fuck! Cum can almost fell off my desk. Chesed and Roland. Whatever's going on here. Yesed and Netzach, Hod and Malkuth, Chesed and Roland, Argalian Pluto. This is all pretty generic. 10-man Eugen. Sweepers, Gebra and Hod. Gebra and Hod's pretty popular. Yeah, this is like very tame, to be honest. God, it's cold. Yeah, there's like a bunch of shit. There's a Hat in Time and Library of Runa crossover one. And here we go. I don't want to think. I'm very glad that I've done all the realizations so that I don't have to think about this. Oh god, it's a crushing fetish one. Oh god. I need a ciggy. I need a fucking ciggy. Here we go. Okay, Pierre Segs. Rock. Oh no. Oh. When I read Rockgalia, I kind of assumed that he was just gonna be an actual rock. I figured it was some elaborate, possibly inside joke. Oh god, we're getting into the weird shit. Oh god. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, it was so alright for a while. Oh, Jesus Christ. This one's in like Japanese or Chinese. I think it's Japanese? I can't tell. There's 16 pages of this. You know what? I don't know what that says. I don't want to know. There's like a lot of rolling and chesed, huh? I feel like I should just kind of leave. Because it's... Oh, God. Oh, no! It's a joke on Orgalia! What the fuck? I knew this was gonna be a thing. I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it. For anybody who doesn't know, Angelica and Orgalia are siblings. I think this is just one where you're fucking Xena. I don't actually know who Xena is yet. I haven't finished the game. I'm just gonna finish looking at this page, just to see what there is. There's Being Angela. Another Roland and Chesed one. Yeah. Today I learned that there are some people who are really weird in this community. I shouldn't have done this. Oh. Note to self. Never just kind of go into like a fan fiction tag for like for one of your favorite things without any sort of specification. I need a ciggy. I need a fucking ciggy. I need a cigarette. Well, I guess we'll go into Browse Works again or some shit. Oh, no, never mind. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same shit. It's 1 in the morning. I should probably... How about we find one more thing? What are we supposed to find? Is there anybody left in chat? Just me. Well, I guess I'll finish off my punch. I think we'll get one more thing to finish off the night. But what do we pick? I almost forgot about, like, the 10 different posts that all posted at the same fucking time on my community tab. Out with 2003, in with 2004. Now I've got exactly one scheduled post that's gonna post at 12 p.m. I've got an idea. Relationships. Joe Biden / reader. This is going to be our final one. Try and find one that's not NSFW. 462 words. Completely SFW. This is going to be our final fanfiction for the night. I don't know what Joe Biden sounds like. It was a cold December day when you decided to go on a stroll to your closest coffee shop. In the big city of Washington, D.C., of course. There's one practically every block. So you're surprised to find that, once you get in line, a silver fox stands before you. This tan, 6-foot man was radiating an aura of warmth that almost all old men have. Yet it was amplified by his voice speaking into his phone. Yes, Ashley, I know, he hummed with a sugary sweet smile as he agreed absently. Now, if you were a simple plebeian, you might not know who that's not in quotation marks. Now, if you were a simple plebeian, you might not know who Ashley is. A loving spouse? Oh, no. But a vice president aficionado like you knows well that Ashley is his 36-year-old daughter, and by the sound of her tone on the speaker, she was the host of a family Christmas party. I know. I'll be there. I love you, sweetheart. Joe said his goodbyes lovingly. Joe said his goodbyes lovingly soft as he looked around his surroundings. As he looked around his surroundings before landing on you with a small fox-like smirk. Kids, am I right? Always so stressed out nowadays. Not me, though, no. An old man like me can't deal with that. And oh my God, you couldn't believe it! Former Vice President Joe Biden just spoke to you! Swirling your hair in a circle with your fingers, you chuckle back in response, stunned to silence for a moment before piping up a small, "You? No, I bet you could do a lot for your age." You wink at him, and he blushes before shuffling his phone into the pocket of his dark overcoat. Oh, well, I never expected to be flirted at from such a fine person like yourself at a simple establishment like this. The silver-haired man purred back with a now flirtatious grin. Tell me, what's your name? You tell him your name, and his warm charm seems to be bubbling out of him before he's called to order. You two hadn't even realized the line had gone up. Your little talk, but that was fine. This was fine. Paying for his coffee. He signed the receipt, and you tried not to watch him leave, but the sting in your heart made you and... The sting in your heart made you, and... He was looking straight into your eyes before walking towards you and giving you his number. Call me. He blushes before hurrying out the door. Staring at the small piece of paper in your hand was the receipt of the coffee you couldn't help. Staring at the small piece of paper in your hand, that was the receipt of the coffee. You couldn't help but put it to your chest in pure joy. Thought? Are you ordering coffee? Or what? And that's the end. Well, that is... that is our final fanfiction for the night. I hope you all enjoyed, because I hope you all had fun, because I know that I did, and I hope to see everybody here again soon. Bye!